Hi Rach, we're just talking through the first event, Tortoise and the Hare 12-minute AMRAP. I think this is the hardest one out of all of them. Shooters, tuck crunch, reverse lunge, knee to chest thrusters and crab toe taps. Not everyone will know what they are, but I think AMRAPs are mentally the most challenging because there's no limit to how hard you can push. What do you think they'll struggle with? What exercise do you think will be the hardest one out of those that people are going to struggle with on the pace? Rach, you need to unmute yourself as well. Yeah. What do you reckon, Sophia? Hardest exercise?
I hate tuck crunches. They burn. They're so painful.
Yeah, I think they're all right. I go fast on those though, so I think they're going to be okay.
I think they'll be okay, but ever since you did loads that time, I can't think about them now.
A set of 30. Yeah, it is a big set for sure.
What is a crab toe tap?
Yeah, let's give you a little preview. So, Serena Williams was doing these apparently on her Instagram the other day. So you're really
hard.
Then you're gonna go.
Yeah, okay.
The opposite.
I mean, after all that, I'd say that's going to be pretty challenging.
I think those. I've tried this event myself. I've tried them all, and the knee to chest thrusters would definitely.
Oh yeah.
It's not even. It's the shoulders, just holding yourself there for the 30 reps. I was actually doing 15, shaking my arms off, and then doing 15. But I think in a competitive environment, people are just gonna go all the way through without any breaks.
Have you got any tips, Tom?
What's that? Sorry, Rach.
Have you got any tips for the guys joining in?
Oh, tips. Well, actually, the tip is in the event name. So, Tortoise and the Hare. So that's your tip for this event, really. Is if you absolutely fly through it, like if you do the first round. Like it's a race. So the second event is called the sprint. If you do that first round like you do the sprint, for most people, I think you're going to finish it way too fast and you're going to burn out. So for the majority of people, they're going to get a better score if they just don't stop. So it's not about don't go fast and take a break. You want to plan your workout so that you just don't stop at all. But that's going to be different. Some people might be able to go all out for 12 minutes, but if you can't, the most important thing to getting a good time, I think, is not to stop. So good question on that, Rach. And then we'll preview the next ones as we go through, but and we'll get all the. I'm going to call them athletes because they are athletes, but we're going to get all the athletes in a second, and we'll go live. But this is an experiment for us doing the Zoom games. I've never seen anyone do it. Let's stop the screen share for a second. I've never seen anyone do it before. Obviously, the Rogue Invitational was a big functional fitness competition, but obviously we're a slightly different size company to Rogue, and we're giving our take on it, partly to celebrate having Zoom during the coronavirus lockdown and how successful it's been for us as a business and for our members in staying fit. So this is kind of a celebration of that. And also, we're going to launch our online Zoom-only membership. I'll talk about that once we go. We've got 18 people in the waiting room, and there's 21 people booked on to compete. So I'll let them in a second. We will start regardless of whether we get all 21, because you never get a full house, do you? With a big class. There's always one.
I reckon there'll be extras trying to sneak in.
Yeah. So if you're watching the film on the live stream, you'll have to bear with us. We're doing our best. We'll try and give you the best content we can. But like I said, this is a new thing. I don't think it's just a new thing for us. I don't think I've ever seen a Zoom fitness competition live streamed. So we'll see. We haven't got a massive tech team. The tech team is me. And the support team is these two lovely ladies. So let's let everyone in. We've got 19, so that's good enough.
What's happened? I can't hear everyone.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you guys. What have I done?
I don't know.
That's why.
Okay, let's let everyone in. Where's our waiting room gone? Admit all. There we go. That's what we want. Prepare for chaos. And we're going to try and mute everyone as well. Otherwise, it really is going to be chaos. So if everyone could stay muted for now, that would be fantastic. Well, let's get a sound back on. Welcome, everybody. We're nearly at a full house, but we will start regardless. It's great to see everyone set up. Now, if you're smart, you'll be set up outside, I think, for this. I mean, it's not too hot today, but you're going to have to balance your 4G network with being cooler. So if you've got good 4G or strong house Wi-Fi, I reckon outside is for the win. James is joining us. Is that me? Are you in Mallorca, James? Give me a thumbs up if you're in Mallorca. Or you're in a very nice looking, somewhere on the Wirral. Let's let Joe in. All right, so we've got 20. I believe we're missing just one person. Great to see everybody. Welcome to the Zoom Fitness Games. Has anyone, give me a thumbs up if you managed to have a little preview on the live stream. Has anyone seen the first event already? Or if people not, Rich, there you go. So we've got some tech savvy people out there have already seen the first event because we've already put it on the YouTube live stream and had a quick chat. And if you were watching the YouTube live stream, you'll have seen that we've already given you a tip for how to do well on it. So if not, you'll have to have someone watching out on that and catch you up on it. So I believe we're almost at a full house. During the event, we'd like you to stay muted if possible, just to save too much confusion. Feel free, if you're really confused, to just unmute yourself and ask a question. But then if you could mute yourself again, or the easier option is to type in the live chat, and you can type and it will pop up on our screen. You can type to me directly, or you can type to everyone. So that'll just be in the Zoom chat feed. We are live streaming, by the way. So let's get you going. What have we got? First port call. Okay, so there's going to be 3 events today. The first one is called the Tortoise and the Hare. There's going to be a 12-minute AMRAP. The second one is going to be something called the Sprint, and it should be a shorter event. There is a 12-minute time cap on that, so if you don't finish the list within 12 minutes, we will cap it and stop you there. And then the last one is my personal favourite event. There's a last man standing EMOM, so it's going to be, we'll explain that as we get to it. There is going to be scoring for this event, so what we're going to do is, if the first place is going to get, if there's 20 of us, is going to get 20 points, and the 20th place would get 1 point, and then obviously in between, second place would get 19. So you'll be scored and you'll get a score for each event. And then the total score from all 3 of your events, that is going to give us the winner. We'll have a male winner and we'll have a female winner. And we're going to give a prize. So we're going to give a month's membership. If you're already a member, we'd like you to, we've said that if you're already a monthly member, you can just donate the membership to a friend or family. And then we're also going to give you a hoodie for you, so you get something. We'll give you a Synergy hoodie. I'll have this logo on. It's like a black one. They're really comfy. We'll get some of those printed. Great. What else have we got? So the reason for the Zoom Fitness Games is really to celebrate, I've already just briefly touched on this on the live stream, but to celebrate the success of Zoom and the classes we've been doing. And that is mainly because of a lot of you, a lot of the people logged in right now are members. So thanks so much for being part of the Zoom, creating this new section of our business. And alongside that, we're going to launch a Zoom only membership, because some people right now in this competition are joining us from London. Some people are joining us from Mallorca, and Zoom makes it possible for us to do that. So we're going to launch a cheaper Zoom-only membership for those that want to just join us from elsewhere, or if that just suits them better for whatever reason. So yeah, 25th of July, we'll make that live and you'll be able to join as a member for just an online membership. And obviously we'll keep our current memberships as well. I think that's all aside from that. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a 5-minute warm-up and then I'm going to go into explaining the first event. The 5-minute warm-up, I'll take you through something, but if you want to do your own warm-up, you've got your own areas to warm up. You're going to have 5 minutes right now, so you can either copy me or feel free to just go at your own thing. Rachel and Sophia have joined us. They are going to be maintaining movement standards, so there's no cheating. So they will unmute themselves and give you tips every now and again. Sophia is going to be keeping scores, but what I would like, if you haven't seen in the email already, is I want you to get a pen and paper, and you're going to be writing down the event so you can keep track. Now you should be able to remember it, but just writing down the event when you're doing an AMRAP as many rounds as possible might help you. So if you haven't got a pen and paper already, go and get one, and then you can just join the warm-up in as we go. So pen and paper or a phone's fine, but obviously not the phone you're live streaming on. All right, let's get you going for the warm-up. Let's start simple. We're just going with some hip openers, getting the hips moving. Feel free to freestyle your own warm-up. You do not have to do the warm-up that we're telling you to do if you know you've got areas to move. All right, let's go for some swings, back to front swings. So we're doing what we call a dynamic warm-up. So rather than doing static stretching, we're just going to gradually take the muscle through the full range of motion and get your body a little bit warmer. And switch sides. If you're watching live at home and you're thinking, oh, this looks good, I wish I'd joined in, then just join in right now. You can still follow these events on the live stream at home. There's no reason why you can't do it. You're going to get the same explanation as everyone else. All right, feet shoulder width apart. Give me some squats, just regular body weight squats. Rather than hinging on, suck the bum down to the heels, get the knees bending, keep the heels firmly planted on the floor. All right, let's get the groin stretching out a bit. Feet a little wider, give me some sumo squats. Knees out, groin stretching. Don't worry, we're not tiring you out. You don't want to go straight into an event and have your heart rate jack up straight away. You'll compete much better if you've already elevated a bit. Go one wider, side to side, and then let your heart rate come down because you're going to get an explanation of the movements anyway. We're going to Cossack it, which means pointing one toe. Good. A couple of reverse lunges, alternating step backs. And then finally, because it's a bodyweight competition, we're going to warm up your wrists. So we're going to go wrist circles, closed fist one way. Wrist circles the other way. Last person has just joined. Straight hand, in and out, curling your fingers back. And then figure of eights. Because with the bodyweight stuff, especially if you're doing high frequency, I'm going to get a little bit of fluid in the joints. Okay, so I'm going to screen share the first event. And then I would recommend that you write it down so that you can follow it smoother. Paul, I like prepared. He's definitely got a whiteboard there. So let's screen share that first event. If I get the right one. Tortoise and the hare. So we're going to screen share that. Tortoise and the hare. First event. We have shooters, crunches, tuck crunches, alternate reverse lunge, knee to chest thrusters, crab toe taps. Now I'm going to go through the movement standards on this. Once you've written that down, I will collapse the screen again, and then I'll show you the movement. Otherwise, you'll only see me tiny on the screen. So I'll just give you a little bit more time to write that down. So to keep it simple, it's 30 of everything. So we're not changing the number. It's a 12-minute AMRAP. I'll explain what that is in a minute. "12-minute AMRAP. Better let Brie in because she might actually win. It's a good idea. Okay, hopefully you've written that down. I'm going to stop the share. Now, we're going to keep it on grid view so we can see all of you. But what we want you to do is to put me on speaker view. You can do that by holding down the screen and pinning me, or if you're on a laptop, there'll be a drop-down icon in the corner, and you can go spotlight. And I'm going to show you all of the exercises now, and we can have a little go at them. So the first one, shooters. Okay, really important. Have a little practice of these whilst I show you. Shooters, you have to touch the floor with your fingertips, and then you have to jump and shoot to the top, and you'll look like this. If you don't touch the floor, the rep doesn't count, and we don't want you like a little jump like this. We want your body to be in a straight line at the top. If you can, flat back when you tap the floor, and then when you jump, we should have straight knee joints, straight hip, and stretched armpits. So it'd be 30 reps. 1, 2, like that. So you've got your shooters. Next up, you've got your tuck crunches. Very important. You're going to have your legs straight, and your arms and fingertips are going to touch the floor. You're going to tuck into a ball. You're going to have to touch your ankles, crunch your upper body as well, and then you're going to straighten your legs and touch the floor. And it will look like this. If possible, never let your lower back arch off the mat. That's just good for your back. So what we want is legs have to lock. They don't have to be all the way down here, but they do have to lock. And your fingertips do have to touch the floor. Then you have to touch your ankles. We've designed this whole competition so that every rep can be measurable and shouldn't be too questionable, as long as you meet the standards that I'm talking through now. Next up, we've got alternating reverse lunges. So a reverse lunge, it means you're stepping backwards. So your feet start together. You're going to step backwards, full lunge. 1, 2, I'm alternating legs, 3. And this is 30 reps, but it's only 15 per leg. So just alternate legs, 15 per leg. The movement standard we want on this is that your back knee touches the floor. Now, if you're on a solid surface that's not appropriate for that, imagine you're on a golf course. I want your back knee to skim the grass of that golf course, at least get that low. So we're all doing the same movement standards. Next one is knee to chest thrusters. So you're going to be in a press-up position. You're going to have a straight line. My legs are straight, my hips are straight, my arms are straight. I'm going to jump my knees till my knees cross the plane between my arms. And then I'm going to jump them back out. You can walk them in if you want and walk them back out. That's absolutely fine, but it's going to be slower. So jump your knees. It has to come underneath your arms and then back out. So between your arms, back out. So 1, 2, 3. And let's not see this. Just because you're coming in between, you also have to come all the way out. So we should see your legs lock when you kick back out. So lock legs, straight hips, full thrusters. We're not just hopping in and out, all the way in, all the way out. And the last one is going to be a crab toe tap. So we're in this crab position. We're going to go toe taps. If for some reason you can't do these and you need to modify and go for some bridges, we can do that if you've got an injury or something. But ideally, we're going to go opposite to opposite. 30 total from 15 per side. Now, we don't want this. I want this leg has to be straight when you touch your toe. The knee has to be locked when you touch your toe. I don't mind how high your hips are as long as they're off the floor. I generally demo things on my knuckles to save my wrists, but most people will prefer to be flat on their palms. That's absolutely fine. So, 5 exercises, 12 minutes, as many rounds as possible. So 30 of everything, and then it's 30 of everything every time. If anyone has any questions on that, let me tell you the scoring. So you need to keep track of your own score. We will keep track of your technique. Obviously, you need to keep track of your technique as well, but we will be watching your technique. But you need to remember how many rounds you've done, because there's a lot of you, and we're not going to have a judge per person. So you need to keep track. So if you do, say, 2 full rounds, and then you go shooters, crunches, and get halfway through the lunges, then you would say, what we're going to get you to do, we're going to get you to type in the chat, type to everyone, so that Sophia and Rachel can see it as well. And you're going to type in at the end of this event. So let's say Chris Lloyd is going to put event 1. He doesn't need to put his name because it will come up in the chat. So he'll put event 1, 5 rounds plus, let's say, 45 reps if he did like some of the shooters and then some of the tuck crunches. So you just add up the amount of reps you do in the second one. So it would be 5 rounds plus the amount of reps you got through on the round that you didn't complete. Any questions, please type in the chat box now. It will pop up for me and I can answer them. It's going to be a 12-minute AMRAP. You'll be able to sort of see the clock, hopefully, on here. I'm going to put it just underneath. It'll be quite small, but I'm going to shout. You're going to be able to hear me. So hopefully, because if you're watching on the live stream, I know this clock looks quite small, but the participants have got me on speaker view, so they'll be able to see that, and I'll keep you posted with where we've got. Sophia and Rach, if you have a timer as well and you want to keep time, that's absolutely great as well, but it's not compulsory. I've got it on my watch as well as a backup in case this dies, because that would be tragic. We're going to go 12-minute AMRAP. No one's asked any questions. I'm going to assume that's a good sign, and you all know what you're going to do. Paul looks ready doing knee highs. That's great. Let's get you on your feet, ready to go. I'm going to wait until everyone is standing on their mat, on their feet, ready to go. You should all know what you're doing. You've got it written down. Shooters, tuck crunch, reverse lunge, alternating leg reverse lunge, knee to chest, alternating crab toe touches, 30 or 15 per side of everything. We're going to get you going very soon. James looks like he's in a movie set. That is absolutely amazing. James, I see you standing up, ready to go. Come on. You're going to miss out if you're not. Joe, you look very ready. You look like you're about to fight someone. Okay, everyone's standing up. Give me a double thumbs up if you're ready to go. And just hold that double thumbs up. And just checking around, making sure we've got everyone. Okay, we are going live. Johnny, Rach, and Sophia, feel free to unmute. Correct technique, but then mute yourself again. We're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. All right, we're on the shooters. So we've got these shooters, 30 reps. I'm not going to do the whole thing with you. I've done it. Let's keep movement standard. You need to stretch out at the top. You have to touch the floor. You have to jump unless you've got a knee injury. Tuck crunch is after the shooters. 30 reps. Let's see who's first onto the tuck crunches. James is, not sure what James is doing. I think he's trying to get the screen up. James, if it all goes south, you can do it on repeat on the live stream. All right, Ashok is finished. Paul's finished. Most people are now getting onto the tuck crunches. Now, although this is a competition, we have said just join in for fun. So a lot of people doing it are not trying to win, or maybe they are trying to win, but we've just said join in for fun. After the tuck crunches, it's the lunges. So some people are competing to get the best score they can. Some people are competing to win. So you got tuck crunch 30, alternating reverse lunges for 30. Then it's knee to chest thrusters. Tori, I think, might be in the lead for the women. Though Abby's in the same place. Bree, come on, speed up. The tuck crunches can fly. As long as you straighten your legs, touch the floor, touch your ankles, that counts as a rep. You can do it this fast. As long as you touch your ankles, straighten your legs, it's a rep. I've given you movement standards. As you meet those movement standards, that counts. All the way out on the thrusters. So knee to chest thrusters. Then we're on to the toe taps. Tori is not just winning the women's, Tori is winning full stop right now. So Tori is not winning the women's category. I think Tori is out front. I don't know where Chris Lloyd is in a sea of people. Oh, he is, yeah, on the same. Chris Lloyd and Tori, potentially first place. No, Joe McCarthy. Joe McCarthy's got a little swap. I don't actually think Joe's swap is any easier just because of a knee injury, but we wanted to compete anyway. The most important thing is that you get something done. So we've given her some swaps to do. So if you see her doing different stuff, don't worry. James, you'll be fine on the beach. Do what you can if possible. If not, stay involved. Feel free to watch the event. We can always get you to catch up on live stream. We'll still count your score. You can always watch it back and just do it when you've got Wi-Fi. Toe tap, so shooters, tuck crunch, reverse lunge, knee to chest thrusters, crab toe taps. What are we doing, Claire? You on to the next round? Don't wait for me. This is as many rounds as possible. You don't stop at the end of the round. You keep rolling. You get as many rounds as you can. I'll give you a few demos on technique. Shooters. Then tuck crunches. Then we've got alternating reverse lunges. Then we've got knee to chest thrusters. These are the ones that people might get a bit scrappy on. But you can see I'm jumping all the way out. Straight hips, straight knees. All the way in. And then you've got the crab toe tuck taps. So we're coming up to the 8-minute mark. Now that should give us an idea of how many rounds are possible based on where people have got to. So I'm going to assume this is probably, how many rounds? How many rounds do you think Tori's on? Is she on round 2 or is she on round 3, Sophia? What do you think? 2 or 3? 3. You think this is the 3rd round? I think so, probably. No, it's 2nd round. So Tori's on the 2nd round. So that means you're able to do, gonna get through a few for sure. Chris is on the tuck crunch, Tori's starting the lunges. They can't be that far away from one another, so that must mean that Tori's slightly ahead of Chris right now. Because they can't be a whole round apart. Oh, Abby, here we go. No, Abby can't be in the lead because she's one exercise behind. She's one exercise behind Chris. Show the crab one. Like this, Rob. Alternating touches. So left hand, right foot, left hand, right foot. Good shout, Rob. So Rob just typed a question. That's perfectly acceptable. Obviously, it slows you down a little, but going really well, Rich. Good technique. Good, Angela. Abby, Abbott, you're doing really well. I think you're in 3rd place, which makes you the 2nd female place. Sorry for anyone who's actually faster. We're obviously having a little look, trying to keep up with people. Tori's flexibility comes in really handy. So you'll find that actually being flexible, providing you're still strong, will be an advantage, especially when you're doing something like a crab toe touch, where you need to be able to stretch the hamstring. You're just struggling to get that straight leg in a tap, then it is going to slow you down or just make you more tired. Bree, let's get bigger jumps out. Let's get the knees right under the arms as well. I'm sure I'll say the same to lots of other people in a minute. Same for you, Sarah. That's it. Knees in, knees all the way out. Good. Pretty much for everyone, we're going to be watching these chests and knee to chest thrusters. I didn't call them thrusters. I called them knee to chest thrusters because that's what I want you to aim for. Good pace. So you can see Tori's got a good technique with the shooters in that she's not even bothering to bend her knees much, which is fine. She's just using that hamstring flexibility to get a higher rep cycle. So Tori's managing to get ahead on the thrusters. You've got tuck crunch now, Tor. Actually, what was she doing? She missed one out. That's it. Tori, you go shooter, tuck crunch, reverse lunge, knee to chest thruster, crab toe taps. I'll keep repeating that. Shooters, then tuck crunches, then alternating reverse lunges, then knee to chest thrusters, then crab toe taps. We can watch this on repeat and make sure that you actually did the amount of rounds you said you did. So let's make sure we stick to good technique, because I will be watching the YouTube live stream afterwards. That's the beauty of having it on the live stream. It will be available later. So we will be able to review your reps. I mean, we're not going to be too harsh. We understand that you're going as fast as you can. But if someone's just had horrible reps the whole time, then we might not count them. So make sure your reps are good. You're not going to get away with it because it's recorded, which means we can pause, we can look at individual people. So make sure your movement quality is spot on. Claire, they look good. Really good jump out. Let's see if we can get the jump in. How long we got? So we got 4 minutes left. So we are 2/3 of the way through. How are you getting on, SJ? Let's see you moving. What exercise? You got shooter, tuck crunch, reverse lunge, knee to chest thruster, toe taps. Shooter, tuck crunch, alternating reverse lunge, knee to chest thruster, crab toe taps. I'll give you a quick demo of them again. Shooters, tuck crunches, alternating reverse lunge, knee to floor or knee super close, and then knee to chest thrusters. Feel free, Rachel Sophia, if you need to help anyone with technique, to unmute, give a little tip. Also feel free, if you want to stay muted, that's fine as well. Who do we think's in the lead right now? Tori is on the crab toe taps. She's definitely going to be up there somewhere. Chris is on the knee to chest thrusters, which probably makes him one exercise behind, which is where they've been the whole time. That's no problem, Sophia, don't worry about it. If you could keep the scores, that'd be great. Lisa Aylin, usually a powerhouse. Let's see where we think she's up to. So she's on the lunges. So I reckon she's just one exercise behind Chris right now. Doing good, Lisa. Lisa's come back from a pretty serious knee injury where I think she was barely able to bend her knee. So the fact she's absolutely flying right now is fantastic. She's used something called voodoo wrapping to help her get that mobility back, where you'll wrap your knee in this elastic band. So definitely an inspiration that you can go. Sarah Chitty, let's go the tuck crunches like this. Hands above head. Touch the ankles, that's it, good. So you tuck, open out, fantastic. Great. Okay, 2 minutes to go. No problem, James. It was great to see where you were anyway. How's Paul Seddon doing? So Paul's on the lunges. So in the past, I have been found to say Paul Seddon, I thought, was our fittest member. However, with a new job, new baby, can he still retain that? He's been back in action, but he's been back in action, I'd say, over the last 12 days. So we'll see how much he's managed to do in 12 days. But there's been a lot of people. A lot of the people actually in the lead right now are the people that just got straight on the Zoom classes really early. And some people have been doing like 5 a week. And not because they feel they have to. I think it's just been something to do every day. It's been a nice social break as well, especially when you stop working from home. Bree is definitely like, so if we were to have bookies odds, Bree was the favourite to win it. Tori's been the dark horse, doing a bit of personal training in the background, getting super fit. How are we doing, Ange? Let's keep going, let's keep moving. We've got 37 seconds. Remember, at the end of this, you need to write your score down on your piece of paper. We won't be able to track you all. And then once you've written it down, I'll tell you what to do. So remember how many rounds. And then you're going to stop on the exercise you're on, count the reps, and you're going to add up the amount of reps of the incomplete round that you started. Keep going. You got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop your reps, stop your reps. All right, fantastic. So write down on your piece of paper before you forget. I want you to write down the amount of rounds you did and then the amount of reps you did. So if you did all the shooters and then 10 of the tuck crunches, you're going to write 40 reps. So you don't need to tell us like what exercise it was. There's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 150 reps per round. So it might be 4 rounds plus 122 reps, for example. So write down on your piece of paper first what you did. So write on the piece of paper, and then if you could write event 1 first as well, just so when Sophia scrolls back through, she can see it. There will be a little time gap between them, so she should be okay. You don't need to write it twice if you've already done it. So you're going to put event 1